In this lesson, we're going to learn how to convert fractions to decimals and percents and back again. So basically to convert all these to another format. So if you take a look at the first example, we have 36%. And we are going to convert this to a decimal first. And the way you do that is you take the decimal point in the number 36 and the number 36 here, and you move it 2 places to the left. So 1, 2 gives you 0.36, and so that is the decimal. To convert the decimal now to a fraction, the way you do it is you take the numbers after the decimal point, so the 36, and you put them over, and there's a couple ways to figure this out. One way is it's always over 1 with a certain number of zeros after it. So since there's 2 numbers after the decimal point, there are 2 zeros after the 1. So it's 36 over 100. Another way to look at this is the 6 here, the last number, is in the hundredths place. So this here is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place. Since the last number is in the hundredths place, the bottom number in the fraction is 100. That's the other way to look at it. Now, notice it does tell us to reduce all fractions, so we need to make sure and simplify. One thing I noticed right away when looking at 36 and 100 is they're both even, so I can divide them both by 2. 36 divided by 2 is 18, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. And again, these are both even, so I can divide them both by 2, so 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. And there's nothing that divides 9 and 25, so that is our answer. So that fraction will be 9 over 25. Okay, let's take a look at another example. So 0.47. So if I want to convert this to a percentage, I'm going to go the opposite way. So over here I had to move to the left 2 places. Here I'm going to move to the right 2 places. So 1, 2 gives me 47%. Okay, and then to make this a fraction, again, we take the numbers after the decimal point, the 4 and the 7, that's the numerator, and the 7 is in the hundredths place, so this is 47 over 100. In this example, there's nothing that divides 47 and 100, so that's just the answer, 47 over 100. All right, taking a look at the next example, we're actually starting with the fraction 1/2. And this is one that you might just have memorized. 1/2 is the decimal 0.5. If you didn't have it memorized, what you could do though is you could do division, because this fraction bar really means to divide. So you do 1 divided by 2, and you could even set up your long division. Top dog goes in the doghouse. 2 does not fit into 1, but it fits into 10 5 times. And so that's where you get the 0.5. All right, so again, now we're going to go to the percentage, so we need to move the decimal 2 places this way. 1, 2 gives me 50%, because this extra place here needs to be filled with a 0. Okay, let's take a look at the next example here. So 0.78. Again, I need to move the decimal 2 places this way, so I get 78%. 1, 2 gives me 78%. And over here, it would be 78 over, the 8 is in the hundredths place again, so 78 over 100. Now, again, I need to simplify if I can. 78 divided by 2 gives me 39, and 100 divided by 2 gives me 50. So this is 39 over 50, and that doesn't simplify anymore. Examples here. Okay, perhaps some tougher ones. So let's start at the top here. So 4%. So I need to move the decimal 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So my decimal goes here, and then I need to fill that with a 0. So it's 0.04 as a decimal. So then to write this as a fraction, I write whatever's after the decimal, the 4. And again, the 4 is in the hundredths place, so it's 4 over 100. These are both even, so I can divide by 2, and I get 2 over 50. And these are both even, so I can divide by 2 again, and I get 1 over 25 for my answer. Okay, this one, the next one's a little bit interesting because we have a decimal as a percent, 0.01%. The rule is still the same though. You have to move it 2 places to the left to get the decimal. So we end up with 0.0001 for the decimal. And then as the fraction, it's going to be 1 over, and we have to figure out what place this 1 is in. So this is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So our denominator is 10,000, and that does not simplify. Okay, so if I take a look at another one here, again, I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the right, 1, 2. So this is the percent, 0.04%. To make the fraction, it's going to be 4 over. And again, this is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So our denominator is 10,000. And this one, they are both even, so you can divide them both by 2. And we get 2 over 5,000. And you can divide those both by 2 again, and you get 1 over 2,500. Okay? So now we're going to take a look at some other examples here. We have 2 1/3. Whenever you have the number in the front here, over here for your decimal, it just starts with 2 point because the number's 2. So 2 point, and then whatever 1/3 is a decimal. Now many of you might know off the top of your head that 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. If you didn't, you could set up your long division. Top dog goes in the doghouse, 1 divided by 3. So if I work this out, 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, you get 1, and bring down your 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, you get 1. Bring down another 0. 3 goes into 3 times. So you can see it's 0.3 repeating. So the decimal is 2.3 repeating. So now to make this a percentage, what I like to do is write out these 3s so we can see it a little bit better, because remember you need to move the decimal 2 places this way. So 1, 2 gives me 233.3 repeating percent. Okay, I'm going to change colors here because this is getting kind of full. Again, to convert this to a decimal, I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So this is 2.47 as a decimal. To make it as a fraction, this 2 in the front is just the whole number. 47 comes after the decimal point, so that's my numerator. And like we talked about before, the 7 is in the hundredths place, so our denominator is 100. And nothing simplifies there, so it's 2 and 47 over 100. All right, one more example here. So again, if I'm going to make this a percentage, I'm going to move this 2 places to the right, so I get negative 170%. To write this as a fraction, the negative 1 goes in the front, and then we have our fraction bar. The number after the decimal is the numerator, so 7 is the numerator, and the place that this in, it's in the tenths place, so 10 is our denominator. So it's negative 1 and 7/10, and nothing simplifies. So there you have some examples of how to convert fractions to decimals and percent and back again.